classes, strengthen standards, rate standards on nationally accredited tests. For example, like SAT, ACT should have more science, more critical thinking. The Florida FCAT should have higher standards, for example. All these tests, when you lower the standard, because when you go to if you're like at a poor school or in a poor environment, you might not be getting the education you need, and that's not necessarily their fault. The schools should have all equal funding. They should all have an A score no matter what. They need all the money they can get to ensure that the student has their the most resources they can for better education. So.
Senator, I think your question.
Yeah. Oh, can you repeat the question one more time, please?
How would you revamp the U.S. educational system, or leave it the same, and how do you feel that No Child Left Behind Act?
I believe in stronger schools. Like he said, the schools in poor communities, they need to get the same funding. I do support the No Child Left Behind just because every child needs the same opportunity in education. What it does is, I know someone in the education business. He's a teacher, and he teaches ESE children. But what this is doing, one good aspect is, it's not just putting them in a room and leaving them, and letting them, just making sure. It's like babysitting. A lot of times it used to just be like babysitting, but it's making them learn, and it's actually helping them a lot. But I do believe in stronger schools. We have to start with stronger schools and more professional teachers, higher paid and stronger teachers to help our children learn.
I'm going to have to intervene here because we have only 10 minutes left, and we still have to vote and do all that. So what I would like to do is have them make each a closing statement, maybe address the question, why should voters vote for you rather than your opponent? What do you have to offer? Why don't we let Senator Obama go first, since he's drawn us?
Well, as you've seen some important issues I've discussed. Ultimately, my message is that we need change. Far too long we've been going with the standards, we've been going what's routine over and over again for literally the past 100 years. But now, we have an opportunity now in 2008 to bring some changes to Washington, bring some changes to the country, and I hope that some of you may not agree what I would think, but I hope that you've at least gotten a message from me and say, okay, maybe this guy might be right, maybe we can actually have some change in the United States. So I really hope that you would think about this while you're voting and hold it dear to you. So, thank you.
I know a lot about faith. When I was a prisoner of war, I saw people cling on to faith, and that's the only thing that got them through the most cruel situations. So I am a firm believer that we need to believe things can change. However, faith isn't going to change this country. I heard the chants, yes we can, and just because you believe it's going to happen, and we can't rely on just political rhetoric to say, believe me, I know better, but not explain how everything's going to get changed. I believe this country needs strong leadership right now, someone with experience, not someone who just believes they can. Senator Obama has a lot of courage. He is a great man, very strong leadership, but he doesn't have the experience to know what is going to come up and how to deal with it. Don't put all your votes into faith that it's going to change. Put your votes into who you think will change it.
Job, and thanks for participating. What I want you to do now is I want you to vote for the person that you would normally vote for. I don't want you to vote on who did the best job or who you think covered it. better, I want you to vote for, based on what you know, the candidate you would actually vote for at the polls. And I think all three did a good job. We had a little snag with some illness, but we got through it. Okay? Thank you, Seth.
I'm so proud of our class.
It's a matter of yeah, of course. Do something about it. Where's that? That made you nervous.